A very good evening and welcome to Prime TV News, coming to you live and direct from the Prime TV studios with me, Abrar Abid. Now, before we go into our stories in detail, let's take a look at our headlines. The President assumes duties amidst blessings. Dr. P.B. Jayasundara appointed as a Presidential Secretary, Kamal Gunaratne Defence Secretary and S.R. Artigala Secretary to the Finance Ministry. Defence on the parliamentarian will be taken at the party leaders' meeting. Hemasri Fernando and Pujit Jayasundara further remanded. The US has world's highest rate of children in detention. In our lead story, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa assumed duties in his portfolio this morning at the Presidential Secretariat. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa was welcomed at the Presidential Secretariat by former President Maithripala Sirisena. Subsequently, the President was escorted to a special table arranged at the Presidential Secretariat. The event was also attended by heads of the three forces and the Chief of Defence Staff. The new president was accorded a gun salute. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa was escorted to the Presidential Secretariat premises amidst traditional drum beating and dancing events. The new president was bestowed blessings by Mahasangha chanting Sat Pirit. The event was attended by a large number of political representatives. Newly appointed Presidential Secretary Dr. P.B. Jayasundara received his appointment letter from the President. Dr. P.B. Jayasundara used to work as the Secretary to the Ministry of Finance during the Mahinda Rajapaksa administration. Retired Major General of Army Kamal Gunaratne was appointed as the Secretary to the Ministry of Defence. Kamal Gunaratne has been a highly reputed official of the Sri Lanka Army and led the 53rd Brigade during the humanitarian mission against the LTTE. Dr. S.R. Artigala, who used to be a Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, has been appointed as the Secretary to the Ministry of Finance and Treasury. Dr. S.R. Artigala is a senior economist in the country. In more local news, Speaker Karu Jayasuriya states that a party leaders' meeting will be convened to decide on the future of the parliament activities. The Speaker says a clear public mandate has been given in the presidential election. The Parliament's future activities should be decided accordingly. A statement issued by the Speaker's office say a discussion has already been held with the Prime Minister, opposition leader and some party leaders. All of them are in the opinion that public mandate should be respected. According to the Constitution, the Parliament needs to be dissolved on the 1st of March next year and the general election should be held in April. The other alternative is dissolving the Parliament with the support of the 2/3 of parliamentarians in the House and calling an immediate parliamentary election. The third alternative is the resignation of the Prime Minister and the government voluntarily and letting the President to appoint caretaker government till the official term of the Parliament ends. Media unit of the Speaker announces that considering the three alternatives, final decision will be taken after a party leaders meeting this week. Many state leaders have sent congratulatory messages to newly appointed President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Prime Minister of Japan Shinzo Abe admires election of Gotabaya Rajapaksa to the presidency of Sri Lanka. He congratulates the outstanding victory marked by the new president. He also said that the commitment of the Sri Lankan people for democracy is appreciable. The Japanese leader in his message has said that he intends to further develop Japan-Sri Lanka friendship under the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's administration. State Secretary of the U.S. Mike Pompeo has also sent a congratulatory message to the new president. He has said that the U.S. is always ready to support Sri Lanka at any circumstances. The U.S. State Secretary noted that the U.S. assistance will be available to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to carry out public welfare projects. Nepali Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli has also sent a congratulatory message to the newly elected president. He has said that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's leadership will help to strengthen historical relationship between the two countries. Meanwhile, the European Union has also sent a congratulatory message to the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The message says the Union is willing to fostering ties with the island nation under the Gotabaya Rajapaksa rule. In more news at home, political representatives emphasized that a new government should be formed respecting the public mandate given to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Parliamentarian Susil Premajayantha said that the policy manifesto presented by Sajith Premadasa in the presidential campaign has been defeated. He pointed out that the following defeat, Sajith Premadasa has already resigned from his party position. Susil Premajayantha said that the UNP leader Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe should also take a decision and respect the public mandate. Parliamentarian Rohita Abegunawardene has said that the current government should help to call another parliamentary election as soon as possible. He noted that if some parliamentarians are trying to retain in their positions to obtain their pension, they are not morally fit to be appointed as parliamentarians again. Parliamentarian S.M. Chandrasena said that both constitution and public opinion should be respected. He stated that public mandate should be honoured in this juncture. Media spokesman of the National Freedom Front, Mohammed Muzammil, said that the presidential election has been won by camp of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa by a majority of 1.4 million votes. He stressed that it is unethical to hang in power when the public opinion works in the opposite direction. The Commonwealth Election Monitoring Team announces that the recent presidential election in Sri Lanka was peaceful and fair. Addressing a media briefing held in Colombo, head of the monitoring team, Prosper Bani, stated that public enthusiasm to entertain their franchise in a peaceful and fair manner is appreciable. The final report of the observation of the Commonwealth team will be submitted to the General Secretary of the Commonwealth. Afterwards, a copy of the report will be forwarded to the Sri Lankan government and the Election Commission.
I would like to commend the people of Sri Lanka for the largely peaceful and orderly manner in which they cast their vote on 16th November 2019. I also wish to acknowledge the Election Commission for its efficient conduct of the polls across the country. Sri Lanka's long tradition of conducting elections was evident in this well-managed process. Once again, by voting in significant numbers with an impressive turnout of 84%, citizens Sri Lanka have taken a clear stand on democracy, a fundamental Commonwealth value. However, these elections have raised some issues which highlight areas of improvement. The campaign environment was largely peaceful. The fundamental freedoms of association, expression, assembly, and movement were broadly respected, and political parties were generally able to freely convey their messages to their supporters.
Parliamentarian Kehliya Rambukvella emphasizes that no revenge will be taken from political rivals under the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's administration. He was speaking at a media briefing. Parliamentarian Kehliya Rambukvella said that all kinds of extremisms will be uprooted under the new government. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has paid attention on the real issues of the nation instead of narrow political objectives. Kehliya Rambukvella said that it has been a very hopeful beginning with the historic stock market rise with the appointment of the new president. Answering a question raised by a journalist, the MP said that the incumbent government has been refused by the people not only once but twice. He said that they are ethically obliged to go for a parliamentary election. Kehliya Rambukvella remarked that vengeance had been the major principle of the current government after being elected in 2015. In more news at home, Deputy Registrar of the Asgiri chapter, Venerable Narampanave Anandathera, says the general public has set an example by electing President Gotabaya Rajapaksa in the recent presidential election.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa Matituma Jatiya Mata Kala Prakasaya.
Venerable Narampanave Anandathera remarked that the speech of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa was undoubtedly historic. The Sinhalese Buddhist community was dignified and honoured in his speech. The Venerable Thera pointed out that some politicians were hesitant even to call the nation Sinhalese and Buddhist. The Venerable Thera stated that those rules failed the country. He highlighted that the nation is blessed to have such brave leadership. Rear Admiral Sarath Veerasekara emphasizes that the result of the recent presidential election has depicted that no federal system is needed for the country. Rear Admiral Sarath Veerasekara made the comment at a media briefing held by the Federation of National Organization. Sarath Veerasekara said that Sajit Premadasa won the northern and eastern provinces as he agreed to the conditions laid by the TNA. One of the major points in the conditions of the TNA is to make the country a federal state. He added that no faction has a moral right to consider the country as a federal state anymore, as the ideology of federalism has been denounced in the presidential election. Addressing the press briefing, Dr. Gunadasa Amarasekara said that presidential election victory is a symbol of the success made by nationalistic movements of the country. He pointed out that the request made to the general public by such movements has been well accepted and the outstanding victory was resulted. Inefficiency and failure of the previous rulers need to be ignored out. Dr. Amarasekara also appreciated the statement made by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa on forming a new government. JVP leader parliamentarian Anurukumara Dissanayake says his party always respects public opinion. The JVP leader made the comment at a media briefing held in Colombo. Anurukumara Dissanayake said that though they had some expectations on better results in the presidential election, the outcome was not satisfactory. The JVP leader said that they are inquiring about the drawbacks and will find remedies to address the issues of the party. Anurukumara Dissanayake said that they accept the consensus of the people. The JVP leader said that the ideals set by National People's Power law will not be outdated and all the democratic practices are further needed to the society. He said that dissolution of the parliament should be discussed thoroughly and future political decisions should be taken wisely. In more news at home, opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa paid homage to the new pinnacle crest gem of the Ruan Valley Mahasaya. The BMICH. The new crest gem is being displayed at the BMICH. The gem will be enshrined at the Ruan Valley Mahasaya on the 25th of this month. The unveiling of the pinnacle gem will take place on the 26th of this month. Chief incumbent of the Ruan Valley Sire, Most Venerable Pallegama Hemaratana Thera, was also present when opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa paid homage to the pinnacle crest gem. Former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando and IGP Pujit Jayasundara, who has been sent on compulsory leave, were further remanded by the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court. The two suspects were remanded till the 3rd of next month. Hemasiri Fernando and Pujit Jayasundara are accused of neglecting to avert Easter Sunday terror attacks. The two suspects were produced before the Colombo Additional Magistrate Priyantha Lianage by prison officers. The Criminal Investigation Department informed the court today that Hemasiri Fernando has not run any bank account. The update was given by the CID after reviewing records received from 73 financial institutions and banks. However, it was revealed that Pujit Jayasundara had carried out financial transactions with 5 out of 73 financial institutions examined. In more local news, a man has been killed in an accident which took place at the east terminal of the Colombo port. As a chain of a crane fixed to a ship berthed at the port had been broken and hit on the head of an employee who was on duty at the port succumbed to death due to the serious injuries. The injured person was rushed to the National Hospital. The police said that the deceased is a resident of the Eldania area in Kadavata. Let's now take a look at the very latest in the business arena. And that is all the news for today. Do join us again tomorrow for the very latest. For the Prime TV News team, I'm Abrar Abid. A very good evening and take care.